Most people think a GPU is just for gaming, but this assumption is so wrong that it's actually embarrassing. Because the GPU is now the most strategically important chip on Earth. But did you know there are actually 10 completely different types of GPUs, each one changing the world in a completely different way? By the end of this video, you will know exactly why every major country is fighting over these chips. Let's get into it. Gaming GPUs. Gaming GPUs are the chips that made NVIDIA and AMD household names. But what most gamers do not realize is that their graphics card is performing over 10 trillion mathematical calculations every single second just to make virtual worlds look real. The secret behind modern gaming graphics is ray tracing, a technique where the GPU simulates how individual beams of light bounce off every surface in a scene, which is why shadows, reflections, and water in modern games look indistinguishable from real life when ray tracing is enabled. NVIDIA's RTX 4090 can process 82 teraflops of graphical computing power, which means it performs 82 trillion floating point operations every second, making it more powerful than the world's fastest supercomputer from just 20 years ago. What shocks most people is that gaming GPUs are now deliberately designed with AI features built in. DLSS on NVIDIA and FSR on AMD use artificial intelligence to render games at lower resolution and then intelligently upscale them to look better than native resolution, giving players both higher performance and better image quality simultaneously. Professional Workstation GPUs. Professional Workstation GPUs look almost identical to gaming cards, but contain something fundamentally different inside. They are certified by software companies including Autodesk, Adobe, and Siemens to work correctly with professional applications where calculation errors could cost millions of dollars. The dirty secret about gaming GPUs is that they sometimes make deliberate calculation shortcuts to achieve higher frame rates, cutting corners that are invisible in games but would produce catastrophically wrong results in engineering simulations or medical imaging analysis. NVIDIA Quadro and AMD Radeon Pro cards use error-correcting memory that checks every single calculation for accuracy, which is why a professional GPU costing $5,000 can perform the same task as a gaming GPU costing $800, with the critical difference that professionals can actually trust the results. Architects designing skyscrapers, car manufacturers simulating crash tests, and visual effects studios rendering Hollywood films all rely on professional workstation GPUs, because in these fields, the cost of a single calculation error far exceeds the cost of the most expensive GPU available. Data center GPUs. Data center GPUs are the chips powering every AI system you have ever used, and the scale at which they operate makes gaming GPUs look like children's toys in comparison. NVIDIA's H100 data center GPU costs approximately $40,000 per card, and major cloud providers, including Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, have purchased tens of thousands of them, creating GPU clusters worth billions of dollars that train the AI models powering ChatGPT, Gemini, and image generators. What most people do not understand is that training a single large AI model can consume more electricity than an entire town uses in a month, with massive data centers containing thousands of H100 GPUs running continuously for weeks or months to train one AI model. The global shortage of data center GPUs has become a genuine economic crisis. Companies have waited over a year for GPU deliveries. NVIDIA's revenue has grown faster than almost any company in history, and entire AI startup strategies have been built around getting access to GPU computing before competitors. Mobile GPU. Mobile GPUs are engineering miracles that most people carry in their pocket without any appreciation for the extraordinary physics-defying achievement they represent, delivering console-quality graphics while consuming less power than a dim light bulb. Apple's A17 Pro chip contains a GPU that performs 2.1 teraflops, which was the performance level of dedicated gaming PCs just 15 years ago, now miniaturized into a chip smaller than a fingernail and running on a battery for all-day use. The challenge mobile GPU designers face is thermal. A smartphone cannot have a fan, cannot have a heat sink the size of a dinner plate, and cannot draw significant current from a small battery, yet must deliver graphics that would have required a desktop computer a decade ago. Qualcomm's Adreno GPU series powers the majority of Android flagship phones, and what makes it remarkable is that the same chip that renders your Instagram feed also handles augmented reality, computational photography processing, and real-time AI image enhancement simultaneously without any perceivable performance cost. Integrated GPUs. Integrated GPUs are built directly onto the same chip as the CPU, which sounds like a compromise, but Apple's M series proved something shocking. When CPU and GPU share the same chip and the same memory, the performance advantage can exceed dedicated graphics in certain workloads. The traditional weakness of integrated graphics was memory bandwidth. Integrated GPUs had to share slow system memory with the CPU, while dedicated GPUs had their own fast GDDR memory. But Apple's unified memory architecture eliminated this distinction entirely. Intel's Iris Xe integrated graphics and AMD's Radeon integrated graphics in their laptop chips have reached the point where basic gaming, video editing, and even some AI workloads are possible without any dedicated graphics card whatsoever. What this means practically is that the laptop you buy today with integrated graphics from a modern AMD or Intel chip is genuinely capable of tasks that would have required an expensive dedicated GPU just 3 years ago, fundamentally changing what thin and light laptops can actually do. Cloud GPU. Cloud GPUs allow anyone with a credit card to rent access to the most powerful graphics processing in the world by the hour, democratizing access to computing resources that previously only billion-dollar companies could afford. Amazon AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure all offer GPU instances, meaning a student in Pakistan or a startup in Nigeria can access the same NVIDIA H100 computing power that OpenAI uses to train AI models, paying only for the hours they actually use. What changed the world was the realization that GPU computing in the cloud costs a fraction of buying the hardware. Training a small AI model that would require a $50,000 GPU purchase can be done on cloud GPUs for a few $100s of hourly rental. The dark side of cloud GPU availability is that it has also democratized access to capabilities that can be misused. The same cloud GPU that helps a researcher cure disease can help bad actors generate deepfake videos or break encryption, making cloud GPU governance one of the most important technology policy questions of our time. AI training GPUs. AI training GPUs are purpose-built for the specific mathematical operations that machine learning requires, and the difference between a gaming GPU and an AI training GPU is not just performance, but the fundamental way they handle certain types of calculations. The key innovation in AI training GPUs are tensor cores, specialized processing units inside NVIDIA chips that perform matrix multiplication operations used in neural network training hundreds of times faster than standard GPU cores that handle gaming graphics. Training GPT-4 reportedly cost over $100 million in GPU computing time, meaning the AI you chat with for free was created using a quantity of computing resources that would have been the world's most powerful supercomputer just a decade ago.
What most people do not realize is that the AI models being built today are not the most powerful models that exist. They are the most powerful models that current GPU supply allows, meaning AI capability is currently limited not by human ingenuity, but by the physical number of GPU chips that can be manufactured.
Rendering GPUs. Rendering GPUs are used in film production, animation studios, and architectural visualization to generate photorealistic images and video. A single frame of a modern animated film can take hours to render, even on dedicated GPU clusters. Pixar, Disney, and DreamWorks use render farms containing thousands of GPUs that run continuously, with a 2-hour animated film representing hundreds of millions of hours of combined GPU computing time across the entire production. What shocks most people is that the fur on a single character in a Pixar film contains millions of individually simulated hairs, each one obeying physics, casting shadows, and interacting with wind and water, which is why rendering studios need GPU clusters that would dwarf most corporate data centers. NVIDIA's optics rendering engine has reduced render times for visual effects by over 90% compared to CPU rendering, meaning visual effects that would have taken a week to render can now be completed overnight, fundamentally changing the economics of visual effects production.
Edge computing GPUs. Edge computing GPUs perform AI inference directly on devices at the location where data is generated, rather than sending data to a remote server for processing. Edge GPUs analyze information instantly on site with millisecond response times that cloud computing cannot match. Self-driving cars use Edge GPUs to process hundreds of sensors simultaneously. NVIDIA's Orin chip performs 254 teraops of AI processing inside the vehicle, making split-second driving decisions faster than any human reaction time, decisions that cannot wait the milliseconds it would take to send data to a remote server and receive a response. NVIDIA Jetson modules bring edge GPU computing to industrial robots, medical devices, and security cameras, enabling these devices to understand their environment intelligently rather than simply capturing data for human review, transforming dumb sensors into intelligent observers. The privacy advantage of edge GPU computing is significant when your smart doorbell processes facial recognition locally rather than uploading video to a server. Your personal data never leaves your property, addressing one of the most significant concerns about always-on AI surveillance devices.
Quantum GPU. Quantum GPUs represent the frontier where traditional graphics processing concepts merge with quantum computing principles, creating hybrid systems that use quantum effects to accelerate specific graphics and simulation workloads that classical GPUs struggle with. IBM and Google are developing quantum processing units that can simulate molecular interactions for drug discovery. Calculations that would require every classical GPU on Earth running simultaneously for longer than the age of the universe can potentially be solved by quantum GPU systems in hours. What makes quantum GPU development particularly challenging is the same problem that limits all quantum computing. Quantum states are extraordinarily fragile, collapsing at the slightest thermal disturbance, which is why quantum processors must operate at temperatures colder than outer space, rather than inside the warm environment of a normal data center. The convergence of quantum and classical GPU computing is expected to create hybrid systems within this decade, where quantum processors handle specific calculations that classical computers cannot perform, while conventional GPUs handle the broader workloads they excel at, creating computing systems more powerful than either technology could achieve independently. That covers 10 GPU types explained easy way. If this video helped you understand something new, subscribe to ByteSimple right now, because next week we are breaking down 10 RAM types explained easy way. And trust me, you do not want to miss that one. Drop a comment below and tell us which GPU type surprised you the most. See you in the next one.